Right, I'm going to join this Chess960 Arena. I've missed the start of the event by about 3 minutes or so, but it goes on for 57 more minutes, so I should get a fair few games in. Just playing like a while I work out what to do. Okay, that's not a free pawn. So I'll just push a pawn and maybe a pawn here. Just bring the bishop up. Bishop and queen have to move so I can castle. Okay, so I will hit the pawn now. That's now being hit. If I take it though, then the queen was hitting my pawn. Yeah, it might be easy just to castle queen side. Make sure there are no accidental slips there though. Now dare I go that way? No, I'll stick to this side. Let's go forward 2 and then maybe push. Okay, pushes forward, I'll take that. I guess I'll step the king across, otherwise there's a pin. Okay, now that's an invitation to go forward, but knight in, hit the queen. So a knight across is a move, but not sure it does me any good. Oh, bishop up, there's a pin on the rook maybe. So let's hit the rook. He might take this rook. Let's just see what he plays. I won't pre-move anything. If rook takes, I'll take with a queen, I think. I mustn't pre-move anything here. So he does play knight back. So I've got bishop up, I can take. Knight up feels wrong. I can just take and trade simplify. Let's take one and develop the other rook. He'll probably put the queen back right where it was. But how do I get in though? Yeah, it's what he does. So I'll play the bishop in over. He's got to defend that knight. With queen across, maybe I've got knight in. So he just resigns. That's a very, very good win. It's so easy to go wrong in Chess960. It'll happen to me in some of these games as well. It's so easy to go wrong, it really is. Right, we have a 1700, good luck. Let's just chuck a pawn forward. The king's here, king side is the right as we look. I'm going to try and develop the knight and then just castle. I could always play pawn up and trade the bishops there, which looks very tempting. Right, now that he's taken a move to move the bishop, that's what I'm going to play. Doesn't really gain him anything, it's just getting his knight developed, but might make it slightly easier to attack the king's position without the bishop there. Assuming he castles there, of course, as I've done. So support the pawn. Knight then, I think that's got to be worth taking. Doubling the pawns up. Now, do I play c4 and let him take? That's a dilemma. I'm actually going to play b4 and try and bring the queen up. That's very bold. If takes, I can come clattering in here. That's what he's done. So I'll go flying in and hit the rook and the knight. So he comes up. I mean, that's very risky, isn't it? Very risky. So let's just take back with the knight. My queen's obviously got lots of escape squares, so it shouldn't get trapped. Now pawn up to release the bishop looks good. Maybe rook across, hit the pawn. Ooh, what about pawn up there? Queen takes, rook across, queen back, rook over. It might not actually work, that's the problem, but it's tempting. I'm gonna just play pawn to try and release the bishop. Okay, he wants to trade. Okay, I'll go with that then. So now I'll try and gain some space. So pressure on the pawn in case the knight wanders off. So the king moves. So I think pawn forward and try and go after the knight. He plays up. So again, hit the knight. If the knight moves, the pawn's going to fall. Unless he's got a nice trick. Maybe he goes back, I can take, I think. Okay, he goes back. So anything better for the bishop? I could just drop it back. And I don't think he's going to support his pawn. He got knight down though, hasn't he? Yeah, I think I'll just take, because he would have had knight down, which he might be going for anyway. So let's drop back. Okay, now he's let me get rook forward. So again, if the knight moves, there's more pressure on this pawn. Now I might be able to double up. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, if he takes, I'll take with a pawn. He's blundered a piece. So now it's a case of can I get the rook off the board? I could just grab a pawn, he grabs my pawn, but I don't want that, I want rid of the rook. So he's going to have to drop back. Oh, he's taken, now that's definitely a blunder. Yeah, he realised that as soon as he's played it, he couldn't afford to lose a piece. But a good, interesting game though. Now I've got another 1700, good luck. Now kingside is on the left as I look this game. So I'm going to try and release the two bishops to start. Actually, can I just take there? Just immediately hit the rook. So he just moved his knight out the way that was covering the pawn. So he's going to have to move the rook across, I guess, here. Yeah, he's done that, so can I make any progress? I think I'm going to go up and just hit the knight. If I can get rid of that knight, then another pawn might fall. So takes, he's covered the pawn. Okay, so just try not to get my queen trapped is the purpose I'm trying to achieve now. Let's develop a knight and maybe hit that bishop. Knight across or knight in over. So I'm threatening the pawn and the bishop. The knight does cover the pawn, I have seen that. But it's so easy to go wrong, like, do I get my queen trapped if he plays knight over? I might have actually done that. But I can take that with a check. But it's so easy to backfire when you're trying things here. So I've got bishop up to hit the rook, but he can go to the corner. And I'm almost trapped. Not easy to get the queen back, is it? Yeah, let's just drop the queen back and try and run. Let's try and get back into the bunker rather than trying to be greedy. So how do I get castled? I want this square free for my queen in case he plays across. If I develop the bishop I can't castle. So I'm going to just swing the queen right back so it's not a risk of being immediately trapped. Then I've got to find a way to get my bishop up. So queen back, then move the bishop up and then castle. Right, now I can castle. Okay, let's still castle. I think I've got time to play a pawn up here and drop the bishop back. Might be wrong, of course. Just drop back. If he takes, I'll take with the pawn. Got to be aware if there's a danger with getting the bishop onto the diagonal there. So it's just something to bear in mind. Oops. Well, he's going forward again. Okay, I'm going to develop the knight then, potentially hit the queen. So I could hit the queen, so I'll do that. That's all it does, it doesn't really seem to threaten anything else. Maybe he's giving me bishop up now. Pawn down takes. Yeah, let's play a bishop up. So pawn in takes, pawn takes. Maybe drop back. Yeah, I'm going to take now. I'm going to take a risk here because there's always that risk I was on about. So I'm going to take a chance. I want pawn up to support the knight, but then I'm giving up a pawn to do it. So I'll just move the king into the corner. It's not easy, not easy. Yeah, I'm going to support that pawn and just try and push up. I'm getting a little bit short of time, so is my pawn to be fair, but I'm just trying to literally run the pawn up and hope I'm not getting checkmated. Okay, have I got knight in now? I think I've got knight in. If he takes, I can queen, and I'm getting a rook for a knight, plus a check on the king. So he goes across to support the pawn. Again, if he takes the knight, I can queen. That's a very good win, but a very tough game though, well played. Another 1700, good luck. Oh, by the way, these are Chess960 ratings. It's perfectly possible a lot of these players will be much higher rated in Blitz and Bullet in the more common time formats. These are the Chess960 ratings we all have. So I'm just going to try and step the queen up in castle. Actually, let's release the bishop in case he brings the knight in, and I'll just take. I'm also hitting the pawn there, so that's a free pawn. I'm also hitting the knight now. Okay, so I think queen up looks fine. There might be a trick there, knight takes. Okay, I'm not sure if there's a trick there, so I'm just going to take and bring the queen up. Well, that's opened up a file for my rook. Okay, so I'll just launch immediately forward. So he does come forward now, so what to do with the queen? I think across looks alright, prepares the pawn as well. That's a bold move. Doesn't mean it's not a good move, of course. I get the feeling he's going to be going all in here, so I'm needing knight across to try and challenge that knight. Yeah, he's just going to be chucking everything forward. Win or bust. The knight over. If I allow him to take, it looks bad. I'm going to have to push there. Maybe even again. Maybe just castle kingside and take a monstrous risk. Monstrous risk. Let's try and support the pawn. Now, can I get a pin on the queen? It doesn't look like it. Okay, so he's hitting a pawn. Knight across we trade, he grabs a pawn. I don't like that. So I'm just going to support the pawn. He's also hitting this one. Very, very tricky position, very tricky. I'd like knight across to challenge that knight, like I've already said, so I'm playing it now. Take with a bishop if he takes. I don't think he will, but let's just see. Now he goes back. I'm still supporting. So I'm going to push forward. Let's play queen up and just pressure that knight. Maybe queen forward. Maybe rook across. So he might grab a pawn. Then what am I going to do? Rook forward. Whoa, so he's played knight and hitting the pawn as well. So I guess I've got to take. Now I can't actually protect that pawn, can I? He's got a double hit on it. Double hit. So let's just go forward, just accept that that pawn is lost. Yes, how on earth do I break out here? I'm going to have to just drop the knight back, I think, release the bishop, see if he takes. He does. He can grab another pawn here, by the way, but I've got to take risks, I've got to open things up. He just grabs initially. But now I might get the rook across onto the file. Now if the knight gets forward and back in and round, you never know. You never know. I mean, I should be lost in a position like this, but you just never know. Okay, so knight forward and try and bring it in over and look for the check. Just try and distract him, put some pressure on, keep his pieces tied down. So now we're still threatening that check. Oh, I've got time here, haven't I? I'm up on the clock a little bit, so... Now, can I use my time? Knight in takes, he takes, should be good for me. I don't see anything better, so I'm going to put the knight there anyway. Yeah, let's go forward. Right, now I'm going to go after that pawn and try and eliminate that dangerous rook. So he's played king forward. So I'm going to try and grab another pawn if he doesn't trade, and he doesn't. So hit the knight. Right, he's nearly out of time, so... Oh, can I take there anyway, just to be funny? It's not worth it, is it though? No, it's not worth it. Right, no, it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it there, that's a good win, but again, he played very well. Right, another 2,000, so again, this is another step up in class. I'll just develop a knight while I work out what to do. I'm blocking my own bishop in, which isn't good. So let's release the bishop on the other side. Again, I'm going to bring the other knight out again. It's in front of a pawn. You normally want them behind the pawns. Right, so I can castle one side, not the other. Just pressure on the pawn. Ooh, now that's tempting. I'm going to launch forward there. I know my opponent can castle queen side, but it gives me a chance to play the bishop up onto a diagonal as well. So the queen comes up. So I don't see anything I can do against the queen. Okay, I could just push the pawn up and see if this comes forward. Actually, why not? Why not just try and push the pawn up as high as it can go? I am threatening just to simply take and win a pawn. Yeah, it does castle. So I could just take, win a pawn, take the rook in the corner, but it's risky. It's risky. I don't really want to do that. I'm just going to put the bishop on the diagonal and try and trade off the bishop at some point. Okay. Don't know if I got a check now. Check, king over. You know what, I'm just going to take the knight and I'm going to try and bring the bishop up over this way instead. Just pressure on the queen and then try and bring my queen up to one of these squares. Again, I'm not bothered about that pawn. Maybe I should be, but let's just bring the queen up. So king's gone across. Okay, I'm going to take another monstrous risk here. And now this game I'm well down on the clock. Well down. Okay, let's play queen up and just try and get around the back. But it's so easy to miss tactics, it really is. It's incredibly easy to miss tactics. Okay, I'll take there. So take, he gets rook in the corner. That's not so good now. So let's just put the bishop forward. Yeah, I'm too low on time here. Like rook up. Throw in a check. Okay, now I'm going to take and take. Alright, so now there's no mate threat against my king. There's pressure, but there's not an immediate mate. Okay. Let's just go after this pawn. Yeah, I've got to come up here. Supports my pawn actually, which is a bonus. That's a little bit of a bonus, that. Okay, let's just come in and hit the bishop. If I play up there, he can take, can't he? So bring the king back. Yeah, my gut feeling is to take there. Ah, there the time. I'm nearly a minute down. I've just been incredibly slow this game. Yeah. Nothing I can do here. I've just been way too slow. Yeah, I'm just making random moves now, aren't I? No good, no good. My opponent played well there, but was just far too fast for me. So well played. Alright, another 1700, good luck. So the king side is on the left as we look. Well, let's just move the bishop. Okay, I'll challenge that immediately. potentially dangerous. There is a bishop check there. I'm just going to play up in the middle here as well. I'll just challenge all of it. Right, so we're hitting another pawn. Can we push? Not quite. Let's just bring a knight up. Bishop up is logical, just to prepare castling with queen up. So bishop up, queen up. Right, we've castled. So now we can try and be a bit more ambitious. So let's put a knight forward, hit the bishop. Okay, get rid of the bishop. Prepare to launch forward here. It goes the other side though. Okay, I still think it makes sense to try and open this up. Okay. Just bring the knight up again. It doesn't really have any useful squares to jump to right now, but it connects the rooks. So my rook can come to one of these squares, maybe here. So let's take and develop. Again, I'm taking a big risk here. The queen might step across and hit the knight, but I guess I could jump across there. Yeah, I'm just going to play across. If takes, I'll have to take with a bishop, and then my bishop is permanently pinned. I could take with a pawn, but it just looks silly. Knight comes in. Could I even grab a pawn there? Who knows how bonkers this is, but let's just play it. I've completely opened up the file, but it's the same for my opponent, to be fair. And if I get the bishop on f6 where it was going to be pinned anywhere, then what's wrong with that? That's not a bad idea. I've got queen check though, and I can trade, but do I lose the pawn at the end? Check, check. Can I keep this pawn in the middle? I suppose I can grab a pawn for a pawn. So take, take, take. Yeah, let's go for this. Alright, now I want to get active. Can I though? Right, let's just centralise the rook, hit the bishop. Okay, goes back over, so now can I hit the pawn? Right, let's just pressure the pawn, just simple pressure. If checks, king up, checks, king up, then there isn't a further check. So now can I fix this? I think now I can bring the king up, but actually let's push a pawn first. So maybe he's got rook across to hit my bishop. Not much I can do about that. Actually, I've misplayed that. I'm very lucky that he's played it this way, because he's allowed me to support my bishop. Rook across might have been just winning. Yeah, might have been winning. So now I need to get my king active, and then I'm doing alright, I think. Now that's got to become a target now. So bishop, trade, trade, rook across. I think I can drop my rook down and support the pawn. Right, so rook down, get the king active. Yeah, protect and get the king up. And look after the 2 pawns, because there's 2 of them. Now, have I got a chance to jump across there? No, I might be playing this wrongly here. I'm putting the king wide away. I'm going after this pawn. So I'm going to give him a pawn for a pawn, but I think because I've got 2, I can afford to sack the rook. I've definitely misplayed it this way though. Shouldn't have happened like this. But, good win. I had the right idea, just the wrong execution there. We're at 1600, good luck. So let's go e4. All we have to do is move the bishop somewhere and we can castle. And so knight's got its natural f3 square. Just try not to drop the pawns in the middle to start. Okay, knight up to cover these 2 squares. Bishop up and just castle. Right. Yeah, I'm going to hit that knight, so if he moves either pawn I'll just take. I'll just take anywhere. Right, I think I'll grab another one. So get the knight up with a tempo on the rook. It supports the bishop as well, and now I'm able to castle. So get that done. But he's still fairly easy for black to castle here. Okay, just trade. And then I think pawn forward just again to try and limit the knight. Well, the knight comes in anyhow. So if I take, he's potentially got bishop takes. Don't like the look of that. So pawn up, knight is bishop takes. That's actually a very good move. So I think I'm going to drop the knight back to cover this pawn. Then try and kick the knight. What? Oh, he just missed that I was covering it with the knight. He's just blundered. Yeah, he realises what he's done now. He's just blundered there. So he plays knight in, but obviously I can just take now. And then rook on a file, chase the queen away, maybe get across. Get the queen active, chase that queen away somewhere. Gain tempo on the queen. So now we're going to target this pawn as well. Okay. So is it worth pushing a pawn before my opponent can? So queen over, pawn down is a nuisance. I think actually what's wrong with knight up there? Knight up, he can still come forward. I'm a bit reluctant to play pawn up because of g5 ideas. I think it's kind of forced now. I'm going to play it, but I need to get this queen across and up. Queen in and up, so I need 2 moves to get that done. g5, at least it's pinned initially. So there's one. If I get the queen up and chase this queen right off, then I'm definitely doing fine. Okay, so I'll hit the queen again and target the pawn. Okay, so rook across, supported by the knight. Again, target the pawn. So again, queen up, supported by the knight. Just gradually targeting that pawn. Okay. So what's wrong with rook up now? Target the other pawn. No, there's got to be some tricks here somewhere. So it takes, the king has to take. Queen check. So take, you can't take with the pawn. So king takes, queen check, you have to go back. Rook takes, have you got rook across? I'm going to play knight over because I'm threatening check. Now it would be funny if this worked, wouldn't it? I'm going to go for this. It might lose the game, but I'm going to go for it because it looks very funny. So I've got check. Have I put it on the wrong square there? I have, haven't I? I've played the wrong move order. Wow. Let's go back for the knight check. He can go this way now. I've played the wrong move order. But if he takes the pawn, he can stumble into a check. Yeah, he's blundered it. I'm very lucky he's blundered it. I played the wrong move order there, but it was a right idea, right execution. I should have gone check first and then brought the knight in. Wow, I got there in the end, didn't I? But a bit lucky. Right, 1734, good luck. So the king's here, king side is the left as we look. So I might just grab that knight, I think. I quite like playing with knights in Chess960. So I don't mind the idea of giving up the bishops to get rid of knights. I find the knights very tricky in Chess960, so if he leaves it there, I'll probably take it and double the pawns up. Okay, is he going to make a move? It does. Okay, so chop the knight. A pawn up to stop the knight coming here. Then I can try and develop the bishop at some point. Okay, knight up. So knight up, pawn down he could play. Okay, so let's go up and maybe chop another knight off the board. So I'll do that as well. I don't want knight up there. So let's try and gain some centre ground. He might even take my knight, he does. Okay. Let's just keep the king in the middle there. So pawn up, pawn up. Okay. Well, he's moved a rook, so he has to go the queen side now. If he's going to castle, or he stays in the middle like I'm doing. Let's bring the knight up while we can. Try and bring it across. That's a good move. So pawn up, he's got a queen check. But I think I can just step back over. But pawn down, that could be deadly, couldn't it? That could be deadly. If I really messed this one up. Okay, let's go up. Yeah, I'm just lost here, I think. Looks like I'm just lost. But he still has to finish it. Let's see his technique, but he should win this one now. So he's played pawn up. So take. But if I take now, he's got rook takes. So queen over. Well, he's got a mate in one threat, so I can't play that. So let's play up. If check, then obviously that's an only move, but then he's got queen round. So that has to be lost, doesn't it? Yeah, it's checkmate next move. I've just played a bad game there, well done. I just played a poor game there, so well played to my opponent. Alright, let's go forward. 1500, good luck. Actually, not knight up. Let's just play queen up and castle immediately. Right, so it's out the way, so now I can try and push. Definitely take that, try and open things up. So get the knight up with a tempo on the queen. That pawn is not protected, the other ones are. Hold on, what's wrong with pawn up there? He can't take the knight without a sacrifice. I'll stop his knight coming forward and I get bishop up to get rid of his bishop. which means he then can't castle kingside, because he'd have to move the rook to take back. It means my knight is temporarily boxed in, but that's only temporary. Okay. I think I'll just play pawn up and maybe pawn up, or maybe knight over first. Right, knight over. Actually, I could take with a pawn if he takes here. Open the f-file up. Okay, hit the queen. So now if he takes a knight, I will just take back traditionally. Okay, support the pawn. Maybe it's a good idea to move the queen to break this pin. Yeah, make sure that pin is broken. He has got knight down, which is a nuisance, but the knight is protected, it's supported by the pawns. So he comes in over. Oh, there's a mate threat. There is a checkmate threat. Have I lost another one? Wow. Might have lost another one. So let's push up and hit the queen there. If my queen wanders off, he's just got checkmate. I've given my king no squares. What I'd like is to put the queen here. If I can't put the queen there. Can't put the queen there. It's still checkmate. So he takes. If he takes the bishop, I actually grab the pawn first. So hopefully I might get away with one here. It's so easy to go wrong. I said that at the start, didn't I, when one of my opponents messed up somewhere. It's so incredibly easy to go wrong. Now pawn up allows knight check, take, take. I don't like the look of that. So let's just challenge that knight. Oh, I've walked into it. I forgot about it. Forgot about it. Forgot about it. Exactly what I said. Wow. Okay, let's play better this game and let's play quicker. Okay, just drop back. Back again. Okay, I'm quite happy to match my opponent for speed. Got bishop up on a pinned rook maybe here. So I'll just hit the nicely pinned rook. Nicely blocked in rook. So we'll take that. What do I want to do? I think pawn up and knight up this side. I might just stick to queenside castling. It just means I have to move this rook across. So let's do that and just castle queenside. Or even not castle just yet. Actually, he's given me a chance to push in the middle here. Okay, now he's given me a nice lovely advanced pawn. Okay. I'll develop a queen. Knight to follow, or maybe rook to follow. Okay, do I want to trade? I don't think I do. Knight over. It's easy to miss the fact that he'd get his queen pinned if he doesn't take. Okay. So if I pin, lose a rook, gain a queen, lose a queen, gain a knight, doesn't look good. So let's just drop back. Still got a pin threat. He should see it though. Of course he should see this. And he hasn't. He must have been trying to work out an attack, so he's just missed it. Okay. Again, he can't take back because of the same pin. I'm threatening to move with checks. So I've at least picked up a free piece. Well, again, he's just walked into it again. Just miscalculated it, a little bit unlucky. Right, 1700 again, good luck. Now all we have to do is move this bishop and we can castle kingside. Let's go up in the middle. Okay, I'll take there. Right, so now I can castle. Again, it's two dangerous bishops on the diagonal, so it is taking a risk, but I think my opponent's taking a risk as well here. Let's plop a knight forward and see if he takes it. So one of the dangerous bishops is gone. Okay. Now, should I give him an exchange? I think I'll just push a pawn up. I was tempted to just sack an exchange there, but I may as well just castle. Right, he's really going all in, isn't he? Okay, let's play a rook across and just pressure this pawn. So try and hit the bishop. Okay, he ignores it, so I'll go up and hit the bishop. Okay, so just ignore that as well. If he comes down, I could potentially ignore it and take with a queen. But they're not easy to play, these. Now, do I want to castle and keep my king locked in? Not sure I do. Now, I'm just going to develop the bishop. Knight down, so do I take? Again, I'm not sure I do. I'm supporting this, but I'm threatening a check to get rid of his rook. But whether that's a mistake, it could be a mistake, because he's not really doing anything with it. I might be better actually just taking here. Yeah, he moves over, logical. So bishop down to hit the knight makes sense, I think. If I eliminate the knight, it's probably safer to castle. Don't know for certain, but probably safer. Okay, I think he's made a mistake there. I might be wrong. Okay, so he's got a check, but maybe I can go forward with a tempo here on the queen, close it off completely, and then castle to get the rook out of the diagonal attack. So he just goes back, looks for a trade. So I grab a pawn, lose a rook, grab a pawn. I think I'm going to have to take there. So I'll have to give him a pawn. I'll have to play king up to support the bishop. But then I'll get the open file. So I think it's looking alright here. It's looking okay. But I still have to convert, of course. Right, so get the open file and try and go forward. So it's 6 pawns each. He's after a pin. Okay. Yeah, not that easy, not that easy. How much do I want to push this? I'm going to just go defensive for now. If I push this, I could just easily blunder it away. Very easily blunder this away. So again, he's got bishop down, but he's definitely playing for a win here, so I'll take on the challenge. I'm threatening another pawn now, maybe. Okay, hit the rook. Threatening a checkmate. Yeah, it just looks fine there. He can't stop the checkmate, I don't think. Let's make next move. It's a good win. There's 7 minutes left, so there's time for one more game. Another 1600, good luck. Let's go e4 again. Okay. I'll trade those bishops off. Right, get the knight developed to support the pawn. Get the other knight up and then just castle. Okay, that's a bold move. My gut feeling is just to push that up there and then maybe try and push another pawn up. Right, get castled. Now I'm happier to try and expand a bit. So pawn up and maybe pawn up again. Right, so there's the first. Is he going to go queen side? Oh, that's a free piece. That's a bit unlucky. He just didn't see that the queen hit the square there. He's a bit unfortunate there. So he does play on though. So let's chuck a pawn up the other side. It's always possible it could have been a deliberate sacrifice to try and chuck everything down the board. I suspect that's what he'll do now. So maybe I'll try and put a clamp on. I can't though, can I? Can't. Pawn up. Yeah, let's push a pawn in the middle. Free move in case he takes. If the knight moves somewhere, I've got to check. If the knight moves anywhere. So he moves the king. So I've got knight over, hit the rook. But I might as well support the knight, I think. Okay, that's a fork. Just hit the two rooks. I'm threatening a check as well here. So he does allow the check. So grab a pawn, he comes back and then go back with the same fork. I think I'm going to do it that way actually. And just go back and hit the two rooks again, but I've grabbed a pawn. So he comes in over. So I'll take. Now if he takes back I can grab another pawn with a tempo on the rook. So I'll hit the rook. I just have to be careful that I don't blunder some silly mate here. But rook across to hit the knight looks good. I'll just grab another pawn and threaten another one with a check again. Try and be wary about knight across with another smothered mate, which I've already fallen for once of course. So grab the pawn, and maybe move this rook across instead of the other one. Right, now I'll play rook across, so I'm hitting the knight twice. If the knight moves, I can take the rook. And the knight can't move with a check, so I could pre-move taking the rook. He plays queen, and that's got to be good for me to trade. I'm comfortably up, so there's no point whatsoever taking any silly chances. Just push a pawn up. Okay, so he's hitting the knight there. That is a threat. But again, I can just trade here. I'm comfortably up, I can afford to trade. And just push a pawn up again. Okay, just force his rook behind the pawn. Or bishop back. Right, now I'm going to release the bishop. There's a threat of a discovered check. So I'll hit the pawn twice, hit the bishop as well. So again, I think I'm fine just to take there. If he takes back the second piece, I promote the pawn. Okay, now that's just a case of take these two pawns, make sure he can't promote. And then that's another good win. So I've got there, it's a good win. Where am I here? 6, that's not bad, 9 out of 12. That's an 1100. This is the last game. There's only 1 minute 50 left. Again, I'll have to play very, very quickly if I want to fit this game in, but I'm not too fussed. Okay, I hit that queen. I can just castle now. Okay, that's a queen. Actually, I will quicken up here. Now I've got the queen, I'll just go pretty quickly. My opponent's just deliberately throwing this at me, so he's made a mistake, so he's just chucking it all now. I suspect he's going to try and get to one move from the loss and then just not make a move. Yeah, that's the 1 minute warning, but he's got enough time that he can do that. Can I trick him with pawn up here and then takes? He can just stop making a move, of course, and no, I'm not agreeing a draw. If I'd agreed a draw there, he would have actually got rating points and I would have lost them. So that's a good win. It's actually good of him that he resigned before the time up. He could have just played on there, and that actually got me 3rd place. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad, 3rd place there. So what did I get? 10 out of 13. Kept my rating at 2000, which is about what it was when I started. It might have been a fraction over, but it was about that, so that's not bad.